Right, here's some good rational questions. When you're asked to add or subtract, you need to get a common denominator. So we need to factor each of these denominators and then see if we can figure out a common one. So this last one, I think I can take out a common 5. The first one, looks like a tough one. We could do it by AC method. I'm just going to try to guess and check. Since this one has an x minus 8, I'm going to try an x minus 8 here. And then I'll need an 8x here. And then 9 times 8 is 72. Okay, and we get a 65 out of the deal. Why don't we put a minus 8 here and a plus 9? Let's see, 8x squared minus 64 plus 9. Yeah, that's right. Good. Okay, so my lowest common denominator is going to be, I have to have an 8x plus 9 and an x minus 8, and I need a 5. Okay, so let's change that first term. So I have this, and when I compare it with the lowest common denominator, it looks like I'm missing a 5, so put a 5 here too. If I do it on the bottom, I have to do it also on the top. Plus, okay, this one, this is what it currently is. And then to get it a common, when I compare it to the LCD, looks like I need an 8x plus 9 on the bottom and the top. Okay, now that I have a lowest common denominator, let's just rewrite it. Now I can simplify the top. Since this is add, it's fairly easy. I'm just going to use the distributive property here. So 5x squared minus 25. And then I'll have to FOIL this one. So it'll be plus 9x. Oh no. I was jumping ahead of myself. X times 8x would be 8x squared plus 9x plus 48x plus 54. Simplifying the top, I'll have 13x squared. Okay, so those are done. X's, 9 and 48 would be 57x. So those are done. And then minus 25 plus 54, 29. I think that's right, plus 29. Over the lowest common denominator. Okay, done. Adding and subtracting, I think they're the hardest of all of them. Here's a multiply. With multiply, you just need to factor and then eliminate factors of 1. So the top left is a difference of squares. Top right, I don't think you can factor that. I've tried this before and you can't factor that. But on the bottom, this is a difference of cubes. And so when I factor that, I'll get w minus y, then w squared plus wy plus y squared. And then this one, I think you can factor to w plus y and w plus y. Now that it's all factored, just get rid of factors that are the same on the top and the bottom. There's another one, and there's another one. So I'm left with on the top nothing, but remember when I cancel these factors, there's always a 1 that remains. So 1 times 1 times 1 would be 1 over w plus y. Okay, that's multiplying. Divide, same thing, except that when you divide, you have to invert and multiply. So let's factor the first one, so it'd be a and a. I think it'd be a plus 5 and a minus 2. On the bottom, a plus 6 and a plus 2, I think, when you factor that. Okay, I'm going to change the divide to times, and I'll factor this out. I think I can factor an a out, be left with an a plus 2. Then I'll factor this one. Again, I factor an a, and I'll be left with a minus 2. Now canceling factors of 1, here's an a minus 2, a minus 2, a plus 2, a plus 2. There's an a there and an a there. So I'm left with an a plus 5 over a plus 6. Done. Subtract. Get a common denominator and then collect them together. So the bottom I need to factor this. I think that'll be x minus 9 and x plus 7. So two things that multiply to minus 63 and add to negative 2. That's where I came up with those numbers. Minus 3 over x plus 7 you can't factor. So my lowest common denominator needs to include an x minus 9 and an x plus 7. Okay, so this first one already has all that, so I just leave it. The second one though, this is what I have. And to get the lowest common denominator, it looks like I need to include this. So an x minus 9 on the bottom and the top. Okay, now I can just write one denominator. And then on the top I have x minus 3 times x minus 9. I wrote that, I didn't automatically distribute it because of that negative. I have to be careful with that because it has to apply to both terms. So I'll have x minus 3x and then that'll be plus 27 over x minus 9, x plus 7. So on the top that's negative 2x plus 27 all over x minus 9, x plus 7. Okay, let's try. Ooh, the double fraction one. Couple ways of doing this one. One, you can multiply both terms by a lowest common denominator, and that gets rid of denominators. Another way to do it is just to treat this as a division, which it is. So you can write this as x squared minus w squared over xw, divide x minus w over w. And then that division sign, we can change that to multiply. And then I flip these over. So w over x minus w. Now the first one there I can factor. So that'll be x minus w, x plus w over xw times w over x minus w. Now look for common factors. So x minus w are the same. W's are the same. So I'll be left with x plus w over x. Notice this positive anchors the x and the w, so I can't cancel this x and this x. That positive anchors them together. Okay, question similar to the one we just did. So I'll have 9x squared minus 4y squared over xy divide 3x plus 2y over y. So let's factor this. It's a difference of squares. 3x minus 2y, 3x plus 2y over xy times y over 3x plus 2y. Look for common factors. There's 1 and there's 1. So I'm left with 3x minus 2y all over x. Okay, hopefully that helps you with those rational questions. Lots of good ones.